Hi, good morning. Nice to see you here. Didn't expect to see you here, but so glad you are. Welcome back to my writing diaries. Today I'm going to be working a little bit on my book before I have to go to work and also just generally chatting. It's a very nice day. It doesn't look super hot outside. I guess it never necessarily looks super hot outside, so that's kind of an interesting observation I've made. But just to talk about some things that have been going on. So recently I started reading The Bodyguard by Catherine Center on my Kindle. It gives Wattpad, but in a good way. Like, it's very quick, very quippy. You don't have much time to process stuff, to be honest, but I feel like that's good because I've been reading a lot of longer books recently that have required a lot of thought. I don't think they require a lot of thought to read them. They're just thicker books, and I tend to spend more time looking at the language and being generally impressed. And honestly, with The Bodyguard, I'm not impressed. I think that it takes a certain amount of talent to write funny lines. I've actually been laughing so far. I'm about 25% of the way through the book, and it's been really funny. It very much gives rom-com, and I'm excited to keep reading it. I hope that it keeps going on the same trajectory because it's looking like a pretty high rating for me so far. Definitely probably a 4-star right now. I don't know. I think this is the book I needed. I wouldn't say that I was in a slump. I just haven't finished a book in a long time. I think a lot of the books that I've been reading recently have been pretty thick books, 500-600 pages. Because right now I'm currently reading The Goldfinch. I'm reading A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, which low-key, I don't really want to finish reading that book. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like it's a good book, but I also feel not good enough to the point where I'm constantly thinking about reading it or even wanting to finish it. So call me a hypocrite. I don't know. But Goldfinch, Discovery of Witches, and lastly, I'm slowly getting through the unabridged journals of Sylvia Plath. That's not really something I'd consider a thing I have to be reading constantly because it's journal entries, so I feel like it makes sense if I just pick that up whenever I want to. But anyway, last night, or maybe the day before yesterday, I was working a little bit on my book. And why is this relevant, you may be asking? Well, this is supposed to be a writing vlog. Maybe it hasn't seemed like it for the past 3 minutes or so that I've been talking, but this is in fact a writing vlog. So with that in mind, I did finish a chapter, which is very exciting. I finished kind of building up the plot to the point where something very exciting is going to happen now. Hi, hello. If you're new here, I'm writing a fantasy novel where my main character and her ex-best friend and a love interest who's not very nice but ends up being kind of nice in the end go on a quest to save themselves from their fate from a vengeful water goddess. And they go to the underworld, and it's a lot of stuff happens. There's a war. If that's interesting, I'm so glad. If it's not interesting, I'm so sorry that I couldn't appeal to you as a reader, but maybe you still want to stick around for the writing diaries. I don't know. Basically, what I was saying is the night before last, I finished a chapter that I'd been on for a little while. I'd been working on 2 chapters simultaneously, so I finished that one chapter. It ended up being really short, but I just needed to put some very key plot elements in it before I could move forward onto, I guess, what is going to be the climax. This is going to be kind of the turning point in the book where the villain kind of reveals themselves as the villain, even though they've been hinted at as being the villain the entire time. They're going to do something that really cements the point and drives home the point that they are in fact the villain. So I'm very excited to write that. My characters are currently in the process of making a little bit of an escape. They are very notorious for their escape plans. They usually don't work out the way they're supposed to, but there's another escape plan. Very interested to see how this one goes. Honestly, Like, as the writer, I feel like I'm figuring out things as they happen because I don't plot that in depth. You might have seen my video where I did a little bit of plotting. My idea of plotting is literally just going chapter by chapter and saying what happens. Like, I think even it's beneficial if you just write out the entire plot and then break it into chapters, because then you're not like solely dependent on fitting everything into specific chapters and trying to give very strict structure. I think that's especially useful if you're not really someone who enjoys the idea of strict guidelines around your creative practice. Maybe that's me also just being dramatic. Before I sign off to start doing some writing, I also wanted to talk a little bit about dark academia books. As we know, we're moving into fall. My book is a little bit dark academia coded. I think I tried to make it more dark academia coded than it actually is proving to be now. It's more just like a fantasy book, but there are some like darker elements, and I think when I'm doing the edits, I'm really going to try to carve out some of those darker, more scholarly elements, because there is a lot of like research in it and like going into libraries and like secret orders. So I don't know, I would say that dark academia is definitely one of my favorite subgenres, I guess you could say. But recently I've kind of been struggling to find some dark academia books that I want to read. I think that, okay, so I've read all of the like really popular ones, such as I'm reading Goldfinch, Secret History, Bunny by Mona Awad. That's based off Shakespeare. If We Were Villains. When they're in the theater department. I've read that one. That one was really good, actually. I want to own like a physical copy of that one. I read it on my Kindle, I think. But I've read that one. There's, Ninth House as well. I wouldn't consider Ninth House to be dark academia, but a lot of people do consider it to be. So if you have literally any other recommendations that are preferably not supernatural in a big way, like Ninth House is very supernatural, that's the entire plot of the book, but just like a book that focuses on school and like academic validation or like aesthetics, I'd really love to hear your recommendations. I tried to do some of my own research, but then I got a little bit lazy, and after like seeing 2 books that I didn't really want to read, I was like, yeah, let's pack it up and try a different day. So this is me not wanting to do the work myself. But with all that aside, I'm going to get down to business, start working on my cutie little book. What time is it? Okay, so it's about 9 right now. So I'm going to give myself probably like 30 minutes to work on my book. I put way too much caramel, what is it? Caramel Terrain in it. Oh, it's so sweet. That's because normally I put like quite a bit because it gets diluted when I put ice in it. Another irrelevant side note though, before I start, why do writers ever stop using aliases? Like, George Eliot, who was it? One of the Brontes, Charlotte, Emily, one of them? I don't know. One of the Brontes use an alias as well. If you think about pop stars like Doja Cat, that's not her name. Like, why don't more writers use aliases or stage names? I feel like that would be super fun. Like, okay, for example, Olivia Blake. You can detach Olivia Blake from Alexis Farrell whatever her real name is. Like, Olivia Blake, the artist, and her as an individual, I think, are distinct personalities that allow you to be kind of separated from your work and just go about your daily life. I don't know. I feel like that's a very valid practice and that more people should be doing it. And I think that there is some artistic merit to using like a pseudonym of some sort. I just think it makes it more fun. Hi, hello, welcome back. I've made some pretty good progress on my book so far. Let me actually see how many words I did. Oh wow. Okay, so it's been roughly about 45 minutes and I've done 1045 words. So that's pretty solid, I would say. I really like where the plot's going so far. I'm very excited to keep working on it. And this whole time I've been listening to beabadoobie's This Is How Tomorrow Moves. This album actually came out this year. And I've never been like a huge beabadoobie fan. Like I really like The Perfect Pair, that song. And there's another one, I think Tired. That's the other one that I really like. But yeah, I've been listening to this album. It's very calming. All the songs have been very good so far, which is nice because it's been a very nice way to start my day. Very chill, very calm. Amazing. 10 out of 10. I think right now I'm going to leave to go to work actually, just because at some point I'm going to have to. And I figure I might as well leave now because I think if I leave now, I have enough time to grab a bagel before I get there. And that actually sounds amazing. I'm gonna go do that. Thank you for sticking around with me this morning. And I'll probably see you either later today or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Genesis Diamonds is not proud to show his couple whatsoever.
Hello. It's me back from my classes, and I've been like thinking about my book throughout my classes. Like when I had free time between classes, I found myself actually working on it a little bit, which was very surprising because previously I think I was like so caught up in the lack of progress that I was not wanting to like work on it. Also, I feel like the part I was on made me actually have to think to like keep going, and so as a result I just wasn't working on the book as much. But I have been very much waiting to get back to this book today, so I'm very excited. I think I'm gonna write for like 30 minutes or so. Yay for small wins, I guess. I will just be working on this. What's been going on today? My characters are looking for something again. I feel like if you know anything about my book, that's extremely on brand for my characters. I feel like they're looking for stuff probably 80% of the time. I don't really know what that says about me as a writer. Maybe, okay, not gonna say that. Not gonna put bad energy out there, but like, oh. Yes, they're currently looking for something in the maze, the labyrinth maze, where if you saw my first ever writing vlog, then you know about this maze, and they're back in it looking for stuff as one does. So I think what I'm just gonna do now is work on this for about 30 minutes, and then after that I'm feeling a nap today. I feel like I didn't get enough sleep last night, and I know I say this like every day, but like actually I think I got like 6.5 hours of sleep, and then I woke up with back pain. I'm way too young to be having back pain, so don't know what that's about, but it's very on brand for me. I have a lot of aches and pains. So I'm just gonna put on beabadoobie and write. Hello, it is I. I randomly got the motivation to work my book a little bit. I'm just looking at it right now. It's like 10 at night on a Saturday, and I figured this is like the perfect time to work on my book. I just got back from studying for majority of the day, so I think this is a good kind of palate cleanser from doing schoolwork all day. It's also very weird because I wouldn't really expect myself to want to look at the computer more after I've been looking at it essentially all day, but I'm very excited to write. I kind of left off at a part where I need to figure a lot of stuff out. It's a very big climax in the book where the main character is basically head on facing the villain, and I'm gonna have to figure that out because right now I don't really know what's happening. We're very in our cozy era right now. It's kind of cold in here. I think I said that like at the beginning of this video. It's just like always cold. It goes from like being really hot to really cold, so I don't really know. Weather's weird. I will just be sitting here working on this for a little bit. Grab your hot chocolate, your tea, your coffee, and join me on this little writing adventure, I guess. I'm just going to be working on this for a couple more minutes, probably like 30 or so minutes. I think Brielle actually posted a stream a couple days ago, so I might try to watch that. That would be very fun. I also, Haley Pham posted a video, I think today, or maybe it was yesterday, and I kind of really want to watch that as well. So I'm going to probably write for maybe 20 or 30 more minutes, and then when I get tired of that, I'll probably switch over to watching a vlog. Then maybe I'll read a little bit and end this night very chill. So yeah, that's what the rest of my day is going to be looking like. I'm very excited to just have this time for myself. I need to do my Duolingo, as we know. I'm very, very devoted to my Duolingo grind. That's about it. I don't know if you can actually hear me talking right now. Hopefully you can. But I'll end this here, and good luck on all your writing endeavors, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!